violence or no other kind of violence.
Get away! I could be at work, at school, in my car, I can still get shot by the police, but I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.
What's good, YouTube? It's a Black Gen Z Mindset. Make sure you go ahead and like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's get into the video.
Police continue to investigate the crash that killed 2 state troopers and a 3rd man on I-95 in South Philadelphia earlier this week. The suspect is being held on a number of serious charges. Action News reporter Maggie Kent is joining us live from outside Troop K Barracks in Winfield Heights with the latest. Maggie?
Sarah, that suspect, 21-year-old Jayana Webb, is being held without bail at this time, and we spoke with her.
Dang. So she killed 2 officers and another man. I don't get it, man. A lot of these chicks, they just moving reckless, I guess, careless, maybe on the phone, doing the most while they driving. Who knows?
Lawyer earlier today.
You want to say to the families?
Let out of state police barracks yesterday wearing handcuffs that belonged to the fallen troopers. 21-year-old Jayana Webb faced.
Wow. Look at little Jayana. She looks scared to death. Scared to death. And, you know, it was an accident. But when you guys see all the cash stuff that she was talking before this actually occurred, you're gonna flip out.
He says a number of charges, including DUI and 3rd-degree murder in the deaths of state troopers Martin Mack and Branden Sisca, and the pedestrian they were working to protect, 28-year-old Reyes Rivera Olivares of Allentown. Her attorney, Michael Walker.
She's distraught, to say the least.
She's distraught. What about the families of these officers? Okay. She's driving under the influence, recklessly, no care in the world. And this is what happened.
Certainly she's distraught for the situation she's in, but more so that the car that she was driving struck 3 people, and those 3 people are now dead.
Police say Webb's blood alcohol content at the time of the crash early Monday morning was twice the legal limit, that she was speeding when she struck all 3 men along I-95 South near the stadium complex.
Dang. I mean, this is almost as bad as Henry Ruggs, where he was going 156 and smacked into a woman and ended up trapping her in the car, and she burned to death. But in this case, this one was also under the influence, but she killed 3 people.
Walker says this is his client's first run-in with the law.
She's extremely saddened. She is not a violent criminal. She has no criminal past, has no prior contacts with police whatsoever.
And that's what she's got working for her. She doesn't have a past criminally, but you know, the reckless mentality is still there. She killed 2 police officers. She gonna do some time.
Families of troopers Mack and Sisca are receiving community support via GoFundMe pages. The fallen officers, both of whom donated organs in death, are now guarded by a fellow trooper 24 hours a day until their burial. And the funeral plans still in those planning stages for those 2 state troopers. As for Webb, she's expected to go before a judge next on April 5th. We're live outside of Troop K. Maggie Kent, Channel 6, Action News.
Charges have been filed in the deadly crash that killed 3 people, including 2 Pennsylvania state troopers. I'm Shayna Humphreys.
And I'm Jason.
Dang, Shayna Humphreys go crazy.
Martinez. Today we're learning more about the woman allegedly behind the wheel and suspected of drunk driving. Jeff Cole joins us live now. And Jeff, you were there as she was brought out by police in handcuffs.
I certainly was. Her name is Jayana Tanae Webb. She's 21 years old. She was walked out in handcuffs, her face shrouded by a gray hoodie, said nothing as reporters swarmed her, got into an SUV by the state police, and driven off.
And what I will say about this female super gremlin, this young lady, she showed more remorse in that perp walk than any super gremlin on this channel ever. She's shown the most remorse. She is the most remorseful, just from looking at her mugshot, from looking at how she carried herself walking to the police cars. She's terrified. She knows she made a big mistake. She knows she's in big trouble. And it really looked like she was remorseful, so I will give her that.
Wearing the handcuffs of the two Pennsylvania state troopers she's alleged to have run down and killed, Jayana Tanae Webb of Eagleville is walked out of Troop K in Philadelphia to a state police SUV. Did you drink that night? The 21-year-old is
Yeah, she definitely was drinking.
Charged with multiple felony counts of murder in the third degree, homicide by motor vehicle while under the influence.
Look, they got the camera under. Boy, she is shook. Shorty shook. She looking like the Kermit the Frog meme.
Manslaughter in the alleged killing of state troopers Martin, Mack, Branden, Sisca, and a pedestrian at 1 in the morning Monday on I-95 South near the stadiums. State police say Trooper Mack, 33 years old, and 29-year-old Trooper Sisca were called to 95 for a report of a man walking in the left lane southbound as they were trying to get 28-year-old Reyes Rivera Oliveras of Allentown to the safety of their vehicle. Webb is alleged to have struck them.
A vehicle traveling at a high rate of speed in the left lane, in between the Jersey barrier and the left lane itself, traveled at a high rate of speed and struck all three individuals.
Did you see those troopers? The force of the strike sent all three men into the northbound lane where they died.
Officer down. Assist. State police, southbound I-95 at Broad Street. If possible, auto accident, getting a non-response from the officers.
Troopers arriving on the scene found witnesses trying to revive the victims, and the doors sheared off the police SUV.
Woo! She did some damage, so you know she had to be going way fast. Woo! She was moving.
Webb remained on the scene in her smashed vehicle. How much had you had to drink that night? Citing two sources, Fox 29 has reported Webb was pulled over for suspected DUI before the crash.
Wow. So she was pulled over before the crash. And I'm looking at some tweets from her, and it's not looking good. She was pulled over before the crash for suspected DUI.
Some 2 miles away, but the troopers left her when dispatched to the man walking on the highway.
Wow. So they pulled her over. They got the right girl. She was, the biggest threat at the time. But they let her go because they had another disturbance on the highway. And they assessed the situation, and they felt like the man walking on the highway was more of a threat than her. She's drunk driving. They pull up to the window. She's coherent, making sense, right? Acting like she got some sense, not arguing with the officers, right? Maybe she was, who knows? But they let her go, so she probably complied.
Sources tell Fox 29 Webb's blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. Webb looked distraught as cameras and reporters swarmed her as she walked past flowers placed at the barracks in memory of the fallen troopers. Ma'am, what were you doing on the highway that night? Now, if convicted, Webb could spend nearly a lifetime in jail for the horrific crash on 95 early Monday morning that kills 3, including 2 state troopers assigned to Troop K, the barracks behind me in Philadelphia. I'm Jeff Cole in Philadelphia. Folks, back to you.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. And there's a lot of people who want to help the families of these troopers. And the Pennsylvania State Troopers Association actually has a warning for those who want to help, because there's already scams, if you can believe it. Police say they received several phone calls from solicitors who claim to represent law enforcement organizations pretending to raise money to benefit the fallen troopers. The association is now advising everyone, don't make any donations over the phone. They will not provide people calling you. The PSTA will not fundraise over the phone at all.
I'm here on the corner of MLK and Frederick Douglass, where a shooting just took place. And as you can see, it's a pretty rough area. So I'm basically risking my life reporting on this madness. So make sure you do me a favor and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hell, share the video. And make sure you go ahead and leave a comment down in the comments section to continue the discussion on how we can find solutions to all this son violence in the streets. I'm Jenquavius Jackson, here live, reporting from Atlanta, Georgia, BGZM News 17.
You probably heard there's footage of that horrible accident on 95, and the woman charged in the deaths of 3 people has been denied bail. More details are surfacing. Steve knows them all. Here's Steve.
Yeah, Mike, on the phone with a law enforcement source who told me yesterday state police detectives were here at the home of the Philadelphia Eagles because the stadium had a camera that captured the entire crash.
Wow. They got cameras everywhere. That's crazy.
From beginning to end, and it was, quote, crystal clear what you see. And a lot of the details he told me I cannot say on TV because it's so hard to hear. They all said it was so hard to watch. But these troopers were knocked out of their boots with such impact in the southbound lanes. One of the troopers thrown over the median and over all 3 lanes of the northbound side and into the shoulder.
Yeah.
One trooper on the video shows some signs of life. That's why people who stopped were trying to do CPR on him to save the life. And we also learned the other crucial detail from another video, from the trooper's SUV dash cam. We now know why they stopped her and for how little time they spent with her. Jayana Webb was stopped for speeding on 95 just minutes before the deadly crash by the very same troopers she would hit and kill moments later, law enforcement sources say. And the entire stop, sources say, is seen on the police dash camera, was less than 1 minute, because after they had her license, insurance, and registration of her 2014 Chevrolet Captiva, they had to leave instantly.
And just understand that Philadelphia got a bill passed through the city council for it basically prevents officers from pulling super gremlins over, really, for minor traffic infractions. So, you know, honestly, they probably pulled her over, you know, definitely saw that she was speeding. But at the end of the day, they were like, you know what? It's not as big as an issue as what's going on 2 miles up the road. So let me go and, you know, take care of that situation. And unfortunately, that call cost them their life.
They got what's called a priority call for the man walking in the left lane after several 911 calls about him. So they left her quickly with a warning to slow down. Sources point out, incredibly, Jayana Webb's last tweet at 12.
Wow. So she tweeting, getting pulled over. And, you know, she's a cute girl. Why is she out here wilding like that? Who knows? A lot of these chicks got masculine energy. They think nothing's gonna happen to them. They think they can do whatever they want to do. And she finna face some real live consequences. She's not built for it, honestly. I can guarantee she ain't built for it. But she tweets, why the cop pull me and he say I'm doing 110 in a 50.
47 a.m. Monday. Why the cop pull me, say I'm doing 110 in a 50. She was back driving at a high rate of speed just 10 minutes later, state police said. And as we reported first Monday, double the legal .08 blood alcohol driving limit when tested after the crash. And sadly, she and everyone else learned her January tweet that she is the best drunk driver ever.
Wow. So she does this on the regular. She is a habitual drunk driver. She gets pulled over, doesn't learn her lesson, keeps speeding. January 15th, she tweets, "If you ask me, I'm the best drunk driver." And then right after she gets pulled over, she tweets again. So she's probably on the phone tweeting on Instagram, on TikTok, on every social media app while driving, going 110 miles per hour. At first, I had a little bit of empathy for her, but now I don't feel sorry for her at all.
Would show how horribly wrong that tweet would turn out to be just 9 weeks later. So more than double the legal blood alcohol content limit, and maybe more than double the speed limit. That's how the impact is, and they can measure it by looking at the car and the space and time. And we also learned one other thing, that the first of the 2 funerals for the 2 troopers, Martin Mack, will be held 1 week from this morning near his home, St. Michael the Archangel Church in Tullytown, not in the home parish St. Mark's in Bristol, because St. Michael's can hold 2,000 people, and they're going to need a church that could hold 5,000 likely from the turnout of police from across the country and Canada. And the other...
Wow. And a lot of police are getting taken out nowadays. It's a real thing.
Sad thing I heard, a lot of the detectives went to console his widow, and she was so angry over the loss of her husband and the way it happened. It was hard to even console her. She was very, very angry, and you can understand that. Angry and just unbelievable about the loss, you can bet. But just awful all around. The more details we learn, the more horrible the story gets by the day.
Yeah, for everybody involved, my God.
New tonight, a booking photo of 21-year-old Jayana Tanae Webb, charged with multiple felony counts of murder in the 3rd degree, homicide by motor vehicle while under the influence, and manslaughter in the deaths of Pennsylvania State Troopers Martin Mack, Branden Sisca, and a pedestrian. The crash happened Monday around 1 o'clock in the morning on I-95 South near the stadiums.
Jayana, did you drink that night?
Earlier today, Webb was escorted out of Troop K, wearing the handcuffs of the troopers she allegedly hit and killed while under the influence, with a blood alcohol level twice the legal limit.
Yeah, she ain't built for it. She not built for it. She got the duck lips going. She finna burst out in tears in that damn car. I'm telling you, these female super gremlins are on demon time.
According to sources.
How much had you had to drink that night?
A Twitter page with the handle Tanae_J includes a post from January that reads, quote, "If you ask me, I'm the best drunk driver ever." Sources confirm investigators are looking into her social media. Social media accounts also include posts promoting her small hairstyling business.
These are the women, the most educated sisters, who keep telling us that, oh, well, black sisters is starting the most businesses. Like, come on. You wasn't getting clients like that. Especially to be moving like you moving like you ain't got nothing to lose. You weren't getting clients like that. Like, we got to stop letting everybody call themselves a business owner just because you logged into LegalZoom and started an LLC. Like, this is getting out of hand, okay? And these chicks is self-snitching. They can't keep it off the gram. And you see it's costing her right here.
And appear to highlight her past as a Norristown High School graduate and competitive track and field athlete.
Did you see those troopers?
Flowers placed at the barracks in honor of the fallen troopers. Fraternal Order of Police Lodge Number 5 shared links to GoFundMe pages for both families. Each has raised tens of thousands of dollars already. And the Pennsylvania State Troopers Association is warning tonight about scam calls, people soliciting money for the troopers' families.
There go them Nigerian scammers, bro. You can't get away from it, babe. Hey,
And they're reminding people tonight that they will never call and ask for donations over the phone. We have posted the legitimate fundraising links on our website, fox29.com. Back to you.
The ones you can trust. All right, Jenny, thank you very much.
The woman charged in the I-95 crash that claimed the lives of 2 Pennsylvania state troopers and another man has a new court date. The story continues to be our top story on CBSPhilly.com. Jayana Webb's preliminary hearing was postponed today until April 5th. Her attorney says he needs more time to prepare. A judge denied her bail, so she remains in jail. We've been reviewing audio from police dispatch early on Monday, revealing how emergency crews responded to the crash. Eyewitness News reporter Madeline Wright is live in Winfield with more on those recordings. Madeline.
Good afternoon, Siafa. Today, more people have been stopping by the Pennsylvania State Police barracks here where the troopers were based to leave flowers, adding to this growing makeshift memorial in front of the building. We're now hearing police dispatch recordings that reveal more on the life-saving efforts made to help the troopers who were struck by a suspected drunk driver.
It looks like a trooper might be down. They're doing CPR on him right now. It's 2 troopers down.
Back. Several thin blue line flags fly in solemn tribute to the troopers at the crash site on I-95 South near the Broad Street exit. 21-year-old Jayana Tanae Webb is charged with murder, DUI, and a long list of other crimes in connection with Monday's crash. During her arraignment yesterday, the judge read a statement in which Webb admitted to drinking an alcoholic beverage prior to the crash. Police say that Webb's SUV fatally struck 33-year-old Mack and 29-year-old Branden Sisca as the 2 troopers were trying to get a pedestrian walking on the highway to safety. That pedestrian, Reyes Rivera Oliveras, was also killed. Webb's lawyer, Michael Walker, is urging the public to avoid rushing to judgment.
He's distraught, to say the least. Certainly she's distraught for the situation she's in, but more so that the car that she was driving struck 3 people.
And, you know, the lawyer, he's doing his job. He has to do his job. She's probably gonna plea out to some crazy time, right? Or maybe she won't. Who knows? But I don't know how you can really defend this. You just asking for the best plea deal, honestly, because Shorty, she out here tweeting. She driving drunk. She telling the whole world about it. It's crazy.
Those 3 people are now dead. And that's a sobering feeling.
A sobering feeling, yo. Could he have used a better choice of words?
The judge ordered Webb to be held without bail. Coming up at 5 o'clock, hear from her lawyer on why he feels that his client deserves bail despite the serious charges against her. Live in Winfield, Madeline Wright, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, we'll see you at 5. Thank you, Madeline.
Gang violence and other kind of violence.
Guess what? I could be at work, at school, in my car, and I can still get shot by the police. I can get shot anywhere.
So it is what it is.